From the streets of Kirkby, Liverpool, comes a fighter who defies the blueprint. 5 foot 2 inches of pure pressure, grit, and defiance. In a division ruled by reach and rhythm, Nick Ball breaks the mold. He's an outlier, the anomaly, the fighter they underestimate until it's too late. While others dance, he devours. While they measure distance, he obliterates it. Every round is a dare, every punch a rebellion. Against the odds, against the narrative, against the very idea of what a featherweight should be. That's what Nick, the Wrecking Ball, embodies. This is what happens when a Scouser refuses to be contained.
God made him 5'3" for a reason, because if he was 6'5", we'd all be unsafe right now.
Nick Ball didn't grow up in a boxing dynasty. No legacy name, no fast track, just grit and grind.
I've been underestimated my whole life and been the underdog because of me size, but size doesn't matter.
Raised in Merseyside, Liverpool, he started Muay Thai at 6, stacking belts before switching to amateur boxing at 14. He went on to win 23 fights, represent England, and claim titles like the junior ABAs. After his amateur run, Ball stepped away from the ring to work with his father in the plastering trade. But it didn't take long to realize he wasn't built to smooth walls. He was built to rough up opponents.
Yeah, took 2 years out of boxing. I went plastering with my dad. Yeah, working for him, labouring, and then he taught me how to, skim walls, plaster, so I was doing that.
In 2017, at just 20 years old, Nick Ball turned pro, and the quiet kid from Liverpool started making noise. For the next few years, Ball fought anywhere and everywhere, including tiny venues, late notice cards, fights that weren't about building a brand but a resume. He wasn't the loudest man in the room.
I'm calm in a lot of situations, but then when it's time to switch it on, that's when I go with them.
But in the ring, it's a different story. He detonates bombs with every swing.
Who's your favourite so you?
At the minute, I'm not too sure, but I watch a bit of Mike Tyson.
By 2020, Ball's persistence paid off. With 11 straight wins, he caught the eye of Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions, and the quiet kid from Kirkby was no longer going to be fighting in the shadows. With more eyes on him, Nick turned into a wrecking ball. In April 2022, Nick Ball finally got his shot at a title, the WBC Silver Featherweight Belt, and he made sure the world would know his name. After blasting low, he defended his title twice and stopped Jesus Ramirez Rubio. And Nathaniel Kakalolo.
That must be, well, I've lost count of how many of that stop, but he turned his back, he's got the stoppage.
I'm ready for the world titles, and I don't know what more I'm going to have to do to keep showing you. Just keep fighting, keep winning, and keep the statements coming.
He then jumped up in competition and Ball faced Ghanaian and former champion Isaac Dogbo, and wasted no time taking the fight to the former champ. Ball started hard and fast while Dogbo stayed composed behind a tight guard, looking for counters, and nearly found one late in round 2 when a sharp left hook briefly stunned Ball.
Good shot by Dogbo! Ball's legs were wobbled!
A slip in round 3 and a disputed knockdown in round 4 only fueled the drama, but Ball started to land combinations to take control. Ball dominated the middle rounds after that knockdown, but Dogbo retaliated with power shots of his own and continued to have success against Ball.
Legs were just starting to betray him, but got ripped through the guard once more. Oh, good shot!
By championship rounds, it was one-way traffic as Ball ripped through Dogbo's guard. After 12 rounds, Ball was awarded the win by a comfortable decision, which cemented him as the WBC's mandatory challenger.
And still, WBC Silver Featherweight Champion and winner of the final eliminator for the WBC Featherweight World Championship. Championship, Nick the Red King Ball.
How's this fight going to go?
A dominant performance by Nick Ball, brutal, yeah.
Ball's next fight was for the WBC featherweight title against reigning champ Ray Vargas. Early on, Vargas used his reach, body shots, and counters to try to keep Ball at bay. Ball needed to get into the fight. Vargas continued landing, but Ball started to come alive.
He could have done with throwing one more there. He backed Vargas on the rope.
In the 7th, Ball clipped Vargas with a nasty overhand right.
Oh, there's the right hand. He's been waiting all night for it, and he landed.
And continued to batter Vargas.
But a great round for Nick Ball, his best by miles.
In round 8, Ball shoved Vargas while landing a punch, and that led to a disputed knockdown call, forcing Vargas to regain lost ground.
Good that was a big body shot.
But in the 11th, Ball would land another knockdown.
Oh, right-handed, that's a legitimate knockdown any way you slice it.
With 2 knockdowns against him and a relentless Nick Ball, Vargas was in deep waters.
Vargas may need to take this fight back to the streets.
After 12 rounds of battle, Ball was all set to be crowned the new WBC featherweight champ. But when the result was announced as a split draw, boxing fans were left fuming because they felt Ball was robbed.
Do you feel like you've been robbed out there? Yeah.
Fucking bastards took it from him, you know what I mean? Forgive my French.
After the debacle with Ray Vargas, Ball turned his attention to undefeated WBA featherweight title holder Raymond Ford. The fight was a barn burner where Nick the Wrecking Ball managed to win his first world championship belt via split decision. In his first title defense, Nick Ball entered Liverpool's M&S Bank Arena with bad intentions, and from the opening bell, he gave Ronnie Rios no respect. Ball stormed forward, behind hooks to the head and body.
Ball is going to get to you at some stage and starts really quickly in again.
Forcing the veteran onto the ropes as the crowd roared. Rios tried to answer with jabs and body shots, but the younger, sharper champion shrugged them off and kept piling on the pressure. In the 3rd, Nicky Ball unleashed a ridiculous 9-punch combo that floored Rios.
Almost out of this world.
The former world title challenger somehow beat the count and survived the round. Rios started connecting some punches, but Ball was throwing haymakers. The champ kept pressing, bullying his man, and pounding away with combinations. Another crushing hook floored Rios in the 7th.
It goes over Rios.
But again, the proud veteran rose, only to take a ton of more punishment.
Long range with the jab to set up the power shots that follow. Excellent.
In the 10th, Ball trapped him in the corner and unleashed a savage barrage that blasted Rios through the ropes. Even though Rios was beaten and battered, he got up again. Only this time, his corner had to throw in the towel to save their fighter from his own toughness.
The towel's in. It's all over. And Nicky Ball.
He kept getting back up, didn't he, and kept fighting, and, you know, he said he'd do that. He said he's done that in the past, so he's a man of his word, isn't he? And nothing but respect for him.
In his 2nd title defense, Ball faced TJ Doheny, who was coming off a crushing defeat at the hands of pound-for-pound royalty Naoya Inoue. This was Ball's chance to prove himself with higher-grade competition and position himself for higher-profile fights. Doheny tried to frustrate Ball by resorting to antics, but Ball wasn't having it. As the rounds wore on, both men had their moments.
In that gap and space. That's what he's got to. That's not too bad here now. Against a very cagey opponent now. That's better from him. Good response off the ropes from Doheny.
But in the 6th, Ball landed a beautiful 2-punch combo that wobbled Doheny.
Oh, really good shots, 2 sharp shots, just staggered the legs. Doheny felt those. This is the first crisis for the challenger.
By now, Nick Ball began to land punishing shots on the Irishman.
He can do different things tonight, but he's done it really well. Yeah, he has.
But got spicy and shoved Doheny to the canvas that earned him a point deduction.
So he's going to take a point now, and he told him before, he said, if you do that again, I'm taking a point. And he's just said to Nick Ball, that's the second time you've done it, I'm taking a point off you.
Despite that, Ball was set on making Doheny pay.
Corner to Henny, and there's very little coming back, and Nick Ball can sense the finish, and Michael Alexander's right there, and Nick Ball is piling on the pressure.
Doheny was unable to see the 11th round. His corner stopped the fight, breaking Doheny's heart.
I think that's it. Hector Bermudez has called it off. Michael Alexander confirms it, and Nick Ball retains his WBA featherweight title.
For Ball, it was a statement win and a message for the division's champions. In his third title defense, Ball took on undefeated Aussie Sam Goodman, and someone's zero had to go. From the open
into the corners a bit more, Ball. He's missing with.
In the championship rounds, both men unleashed everything they had. Pressure were simply too much.
And still, WBA featherweight champion of the world, Nick the Wrecking Ball.
Nick Ball is truly one of a kind. But the real question is, how will he fare against the rangy chaos of Rafael Espinoza, the relentless grit of Angelo Leo, or the rising storm that is Bruce Carrington? Maybe he will be the one to welcome the great Naoya Inoue to the featherweight division. However you decide to slice it or dice it, one thing is for sure, the featherweight division is stacked with talent and ready to be set on fire. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.